future generations will never know about the unique relationship these two objects have. I'm sure many of us here know. Many industries have gone through transformation. Let's take a look at music. It started very simple and then it transformed from public to social. Then came the cassette, which was the coolest thing. You could listen to your favorite music by yourself anywhere. And then it moved to a disc. The need of music was still there, but it evolved, and the technology also evolved to address that need. The cassette recorder and the discs disappeared. It was all wired on your phone. And then it went wireless. And now we have Spotify, an innovation driven by the belief that music is social. And music has become truly social. But guess what? It started as social too. Just that our context is different now and technology has enabled the experience. So the need, the what is the same. People want to consume music socially, but the how has changed. It's important to focus on the how to drive digital transformation. In today's world, the how matters much more than the what. Products matter much less and consumer journeys matter much more. How that product is consumed matters much more. Let's take a look at the transportation industry. Towards the end of 19th century, a revolutionary new technology was introduced. And like the internet, it would eventually disrupt the economy and the culture. This was the horseless carriage. Unlike today's cars, this machine looked exactly the same as an actual horse carriage. It just did not require a horse. It was a big failure. Till an innovator placed a fake horse head on the front of his horseless carriage and called it a horsey, horseless carriage. And this worked for most. No matter how much efficient the new carriage was, people wanted to hold on to old ways. Getting people to adopt what we now think of as cars required a huge mindset shift. While there were many drawbacks, people were comfortable with horses. The fast-paced world that we live in today has many processes, business lines, and products that are like horseless carriage. We are aware of an alternative, but we aren't certain how to make the change ourselves. Imagine owning horses and barns and realizing they won't be used for transportation anymore. It's scary. A lot of people are scared of AI the same way today. Technology changes and transition can be difficult. We must see our business from an outside perspective. Seeing our business and products as our customers see and experience would help us drive transformation in today's digital world. Let's talk about the telecommunication industry. America's short-lived cell phone experiment did not lead to the widespread use of mobile phones. It was a niche product that appealed only to a small number of consumers in one city. In fact, Motorola's then director of research, Marty Cooper, who just 8 years earlier had made the world's first phone call by a cell phone, stated that cellular phones will absolutely not replace landline. Even if you project it beyond our lifetime, it will not be cheap enough. A customer can't ask for something they don't know is yet possible. For innovation to work, we have to understand that the customer is not always right. And that's because they simply do not have the necessary context to describe a better future. A customer can't ask for something they don't yet know is possible. Think about the most special person in your life, your mom. Remember the saying which was repeated to us all the time? Don't accept sweet from strangers, don't take a ride with strangers. Moms have been saying this for generations. Isn't it time to unlearn everything we have learned? We live in a strange world. We're sharing rides with strangers thanks to Uber. We're welcoming them into our spare rooms, Airbnb, dropping off our dogs at their houses. We are entrusting complete strangers with our most valuable possessions, our personal experiences and our very own lives. Imagine if Airbnb had done a research and asked customers, would you be okay to have strangers live at your home for money? So don't ask customers what they want. If we want some enhancements to an existing product, of course we can ask customers. But the old school traditional way of doing the research, asking customers what they want to design a new product, then spending years to build the product, and by the time you launch the product in the market, the consumers have moved on. We have to anticipate their needs and design products and solutions that would simplify their life or simply solve a problem. Exactly what a labs organization can do. It can actually show the prototype of any solution in 3 to 4 days to consumers, and we can see how they react to it. Innovate with your customers, but don't wait for them to tell you what to do. So how can we think of digital transformation in few practical steps? I love the quote by Wilford Peterson, "See it big and keep it simple." We can argue that transformation of products to experiences is only possible if the back-end infrastructure supports it. Today, in most industries, including financial services, we have individual product silo systems with a lack of a single customer view. This word probably doesn't exist, but we need to move towards platformication. Banking as a service can be delivered through platform. These platforms are each managed individually and can be swapped in and out when assembling different experiences. This modular platform-based technology setup is that enables the companies to accelerate and innovate. They can test, fail, learn, and scale quickly. Launch products to the market in weeks instead of months. With this kind of speed and flexibility, technology becomes a true game changer to drive innovation. Then we use the platforms to define consumer journeys. For example, in order to redefine an account opening experience, a journey, so that your online account opening isn't handled at back-end by a person. It's leveraging the process for an account opening which is completely automated. Then you front the platform. You look at what outcomes the platform can give, what consumer journeys can it redefine, and you unleash it. With that, you can really start practicing agility at scale. You don't need to transform your backend. You can work with Fintechs that can sit in the middle of your backend and front-end channels. It can integrate those standalone systems, harmonize the data, orchestrate it, and generate consumer journeys and APIs and talk to your front-end channels. Most traditional organizations think that customers don't like to be bothered by offers, mails, SMS. Reality is that if well targeted to the individual at the right time, right place, and backed by a compelling experience, offers are very well received. Until recently, the standard practice was to define product experiences using pre-configured rules, leveraging user data and demographics. While this method was cutting edge 10 years ago, advances in cloud infrastructure, machine learning, AI have far surpassed what was possible in the past. We can determine consumer patterns in real time. Delivering real-time personalization at scale is a possibility now. The fact that people are constantly switching devices means it has never been harder to hold consumers' attention. So we have to be smart about it. Let me give you my example. When I was working in the US and had my first child, my life changed, as you can imagine. Instead of spending at fashion, dining out, going to cinemas, my most relaxed day, maybe once a month, would be Netflix. And I'm constantly forecasting an accurate supply of diapers with the right size. And every few days, I am shopping for the baby. And my bank offered me dining rewards. Dining was just not part of my lifestyle. I also bought the house the same year, and as soon as my mortgage was approved, I received a home furnishing offer on my credit card. That is so relevant, and I was delighted. So even though it wasn't truly digital transformational about it, it was relevant and it was personalized. Such a small step can have such a huge impact. BCG estimates that for every $100 billion in assets that a bank has, it can achieve as much as $300 million in revenue growth by personalizing consumer interactions. You can go a step further and also personalize the message and creative content like Netflix does. You may think it's so hard to do that because you have legacy systems which are expensive to change. Yes, it is expensive, but not if you partner with some amazing fintechs who are already offering personalization through a simple SDK and API integration. This is where the marriage between traditional institutions and fintechs can be a very compelling one. 10 years back, when I was running a cards business at a bank in Europe, I wanted to understand what are my customers saying. So every month I would listen to a sample of 50 to 100 calls and work with my team to fix the root cause of the broken processes or improve my products based on the customer feedback. Guess what? There were 100,000 calls as there were a few million customers. It was never possible to understand what our customers are telling us. And now With AI and chatbot servicing, we can listen to what each and every customer is saying to us. How powerful is that? Again, this can be done through multiple fintechs that provide bot services, end-to-end digital servicing. You don't have to change your core system. But most important is to design processes and products with the end result that you want to achieve. Don't automate service in a contact center to save costs. What was the end result of the original idea of the contact center? It was happy customers. So if you want happy customers, you would make sure they don't call your contact center. You would look at those chats and fix your broken processes. So the idea is not to design processes to keep contact center costs low and staff more productive. The end result you want is happy customer. So design processes for it. Digital transformation isn't about launching always new fancy products and marketing campaigns only. It's very much about processes that exist today and rethinking them. So design processes for end results you want to achieve and not for protecting the history. When the horse cart was replaced by a car and now cars being replaced by Ubers, what has happened? The underlying need of transportation is the same since the horse carriage days, but the need evolved to a faster transportation, and then cars came. The need then evolved to faster transportation but no ownership, and Uber was born. So if the end result was to provide for faster transportation and no ownership, then we would design the right product. But if we design the process to protect the horse carriage, the car would never be there. As customer needs evolve, we use technology to deliver evolved services and products and ensure we always look at processes to deliver the end result. Another example is credit underwriting. This unit was not designed to promote manual decision making, but to efficiently decide who to grant credit to. So many fintechs today provide machine learning-based credit scoring solutions that use predictive algorithms that tell if their client will pay back or not. Besides, they may use different machine learning methods, including natural language processing, for analyzing social media footprint. Even if a person who applies for a credit doesn't have a credit history, this solution can provide them with a score, analyzing the digital footprint like social media activity, geolocation, and search engine activity. So is it all about technology? I googled the word technology, and guess what? It comes from two Greek words. Techne means art and craft, and logos means word and speech. Driving digital transformation isn't about technology or science, but it's an art of driving agility and creativity, an art of leaders exercising humility and curiosity, asking why. There's no science behind it, and there's no formula for it. Paulo Coelho is my favorite author, and he drives home a key point about digital transformation in one of his short stories. A Zen Buddhist had a cat, which he loved very much. So during meditation classes, he kept the cat next to him. He passed away, and his disciple took his place. As a tribute to his master's memory, he allowed the cat to attend this session. As people from other regions came, they saw the cat and told other people how the cat was meditating. The cat died, and the students found another cat, as they believed the cat was responsible for the meditation they were able to achieve. A generation passed, and people wrote about the importance of cat in meditation. Until a master appeared who was allergic to animal hair and asked, "Why is the cat there?" And he removed the cat. And professors started writing about a new theory, power of meditation without a cat. Another century passed by, and the cat theories disappeared. People were tired of feeding the cats and started eliminating them. Guess what? It took 2,000 years to change, as no one asked, why is the cat there? If we have to drive digital transformation in today's time, we have to challenge a status quo. We have to ask, why does this product exist? Why is this process there? Your ideas may be considered crazy by those who think the cat should always be there because the cat has always been there. Thank you very much.